Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to find subconscious beliefs, how to see them, to find them, and then how to transform them to really let them go. Now let me just start off by saying that this process and doing this in our life, I believe is one of the most powerful ways to really change our life for the better. I believe that our beliefs are creating the kind of experiences that we have, that based upon how we view ourselves, that the actions we're taking, that all the things that attribute to the identity of who we are shaping what we experience on the external world. That if we change who we're being, everything begins to change. And one of the most powerful things we can do to change who we're being is to change the beliefs that we have. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos, but I thought I would do a video on how to actually find those beliefs and then give you a process that you can apply in your life to actually make that happen. Now, first off, realize that many times we are on autopilot. So a lot of who we are being, a lot of the experience that we get on the external is based upon who we're being in the present moment, and who we're being in the present moment is normally an accumulation of past experiences. So based upon certain reference experiences, many times that happened when we were very young, those are what are then experiencing who we're being in the present moment. And a lot of that is simply because that has been on autopilot. We haven't actually gone through and decided to let go of things that no longer serve us. And because we're not aware of what that is, it's like it just continues to be perpetuated over and over again. This is why many people will have many type of experiences that are similar, like a pattern that happens over and over again. And it could simply be because they haven't become aware of some subconscious belief, some way that they identify themselves. And because of that, they experience it over and over again. Well, with this video, we can simply become aware of what we believe to be true, and we can decide to let it go. Well, the first part of this process is the awareness part of it. Becoming aware, first off, that our beliefs are creating our reality. Most of the time, that's on autopilot. So now that we're aware of that, we are opening up the options for us to pinpoint what those beliefs might be. Now, realize that the powerful part of this video is understanding the awareness and then the ability that we have to ask the question. When we ask the question, what would I have to believe is true to feel this way? What would I have to believe is true to have this self-image? What we then begin to do is allow our brain to look through our memory bank, to pull out of it some experience that shaped the way that we view ourselves, that shaped the kind of feeling that we have about who we are. So simply become aware of what you are thinking and ask yourself the question, what would I have to believe is true to have this kind of experience? Then what you do is you put yourself into a listening type state. Simply see what surfaces up. Ask yourself the question, what would I have to believe is true to attract this kind of person into my life? What would I have to believe is true to feel unworthy? Then what you find is that your brain will then begin to find and look for reasons as to why that happens. And then what we can begin to do is pay attention to the kind of memories that pull up. Ask yourself the question, what memory do I have that is bringing this to the surface, that has solidified this self-image? Maybe you view yourself as somebody that can't speak out, that has like a filter around them, that can't express themselves. What would I have to believe is true that says that I can't speak my mind or I can't be who I prefer to be? Then you begin to think and bring the awareness as to what that could be. Your brain is then going through the neurosynaptic connections to find the answer for you. Then you might remember a time when you were 7 years old and you were getting ready to say something in class that you thought was funny, and then you said it and everybody laughed at you and you started to feel shameful because of it. Or you find that you wanted to speak out when you were younger and your parents told you that children were meant to be seen and not heard. These are examples that you can use to then see that that's not who you prefer to be anymore. That was something that was conditioning yourself over and over again in you thinking that that's who you are. But now that you're becoming aware of what that autopilotness has been, you then can decide that that's not who you prefer to be any longer. This process is simply about deciding who you are in the present moment and deciding that you are not your past experiences. But the only way you can do this is by becoming aware of what those beliefs were, become aware of who you're being in the present moment, and then simply deciding that you're gonna let go of those beliefs. So the power of this video is in the awareness, is the asking of the question, what would I have to believe is true? Then simply become aware of what that belief is, realize, be grateful that it's there. Don't resist it. Don't having like resentment because that belief is there. Simply be grateful because it served you up into this moment now, because until this moment, you weren't aware of what you believed to be true. You weren't aware of the fact that most of this is on autopilot, and you can be grateful because now you are getting to the core of who you are, and from this point going forward, everything will change from the better. So if you simply start to realize that in this present moment now, you can decide who you prefer to be, you can then let go of the past thinking that that's who you are, you can become aware of what those beliefs are, you can be grateful that they're actually there because it has got you to the point that you are today. Now from this point going forward, all you simply have to do is decide who you prefer to be. If you were someone that didn't feel worthy, didn't feel like you could express yourself, simply realize that that served you because now you can let go of it. You can start to view yourself as just somebody that expresses themselves, somebody that feels worthy enough to do what you want to do. And from this point going forward, start to take action and know that that is who you are now. Every time you take action, you are wiring yourself harder and harder. You are more hardwiring your brain to be that person. And as you do that, you realize that that is who you really are. That is then embodying more of your full potential. And from that point, everything will begin to change. We begin to change in proportion to how we change on the inside. So now that you view yourself in this new light, you can start to take the action, condition yourself, bring in the experience, and I promise you, you will start to change for the better. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste. All right, bye.